How many hours of oxygen are left that you know of, or that you can estimate right now on the submersible? And does it have to be approved or regulated?
Sure. So first of all, it's an estimate, right? Because we know from the data we were using as a starting point was 96 hours. We know at this point we're approximately about 41 hours.
41 hours left.
Yes.
And does it have to be approved or regulated? Does submersible, does it go through anything that you know of?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the exact technical piece of that. We know there's about 40 hours of breathable air left based on that initial report. Again, that was just the initial report based on 96 hours from when the vessel.
That's the sound of U.S. Coast Guard officials updating the press on the search and rescue efforts to recover the expedition vessel known as the Titan, which was lost, or rather lost contact with its support ship just 1 hour and 45 minutes into its expedition dive that started on Sunday. They were attempting to travel some 13,000 feet below the surface in order to visit the wreckage and explore the wreckage of the Titanic. And just some 1 hour and 45 minutes into the dive on Sunday, the support ship lost contact with them. I have more audio about a previous expedition from the same company, same ship that lost contact with this team just a year ago. And also some audio that really explains how risky this was from the beginning, particularly with the design of the ship. We'll get into all of that. But as of that update, which was provided yesterday, June 20th, they had only 40 hours of oxygen remaining out of a 96-hour supply of oxygen, which is scheduled to run out tomorrow, which would be Thursday. Thursday, June 22nd is the estimated end of the oxygen supply for those 5 individuals who are trapped inside of the Titan. There are reports of knocking sounds being detected by Canadian air vessels. This search and rescue operation has become an international affair. The Canadian search vessel, an aircraft that is able to detect sounds underneath the ocean, detected knocking or banging sounds that came at 30-minute intervals. This has given hope to the search and rescue team that they may be able to find those 5 individuals, including the pilot, a Pakistani billionaire and his 19-year-old son, a French explorer who is an expert on the Titanic, and the 5th passenger, or rather the 4th passenger, in addition to the pilot, is a Dubai-based businessman. There's a lot of commentary that's going around about the nature of this particular incident and this potential tragedy. There are hopes that they will be found alive, but when you can just consider the vastness of the ocean, the depth, the pressure, the danger that's involved for the search and rescue team, and even the limitations. There was one particular Navy vessel that was being used in the search and rescue operation that could only go down 2,000 feet. Well, they're estimating that this vessel went down some 13,000 feet. They think that they got relatively close to the Titanic, which tremendously complicates the search and rescue efforts. So this was a risky expedition in the first place. But the commentary that's going on right now really hinges on 2 things. The cavalierness with which a lot of people are engaging the conversation about the potential death of these individuals, and the fact that they're, billionaires and the rich people doing rich, risky things. I don't really want to comment there just yet. And I don't know that I have a lot of commentary there in the first place. I do. You all know me well enough to know that I err on the side of humanity, thinking about what it must be like for those 5 individuals who are trapped in that vessel, if they're still alive at this point, hoping for some type of miracle, hoping for a rescue. But I will give some thought to the riskiness involved, the risk that they took in a vessel that was almost itself cavalierly put together. I want you to listen to this report from a reporter on CBS who ventured alongside the vessel a year ago. Now, he didn't go down into the ocean with the same vessel, but he remained on the support ship, and he reviewed the the waiver that you had to sign, as well as some of the technology that was inside of the vessel. So listen into the description of the 21-foot vessel that these 5 individuals are trapped in as search and rescue efforts continue.
An experimental submersible vessel that has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. Where do I sign? Inside, the sub has about as much room as a minivan.
So this is not your grandfather's submersible. We only have one button, that's it. It should be like an elevator. You know, it shouldn't take a lot of skill.
The Titan is the only 5-person sub in the world that can reach Titanic depths, 2.4 miles below the sea. It's also the only one with a toilet, sort of. And yet, I couldn't help noticing how many pieces of this sub seemed improvised.
We can use these off-the-shelf components.
I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on!
The only commentary I really will give is the fact that there's no way on God's green earth or in the blue water that I would go down inside of a vessel that is go down 2.4 miles in a vessel that's guided by a game controller that's not even, it looked like an off-brand game controller, like one that you would get at Dollar Tree. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation or make fun of the individuals who are trapped in this very dire situation. I just think that I could not possibly sign that waiver. I could not possibly put myself at that. First of all, I don't have $250,000 to take that trip. Okay. Second of all, if I had read the same waiver that reporter just read, I would quickly walk away for several reasons. Number one, it's a vessel that has not been approved by any regulatory body. And if there's any commentary to be given, it is the necessity for regulation, right? There's a role that regulation plays in society. And one of the number one things that the rich do is use their wealth to get rid of regulation. Now, I'm not asserting that as any implications in terms of this particular story, but just generally speaking, regulations save lives. And I just could not possibly, again, don't have the $250,000 in the first place to be in that situation, but to put your life into the hands of such a risky endeavor. Listen to this same report from CBS News about a year ago that indicates that when they attempted an expedition a year ago, they got lost for 2 hours and 45 minutes.
The dive was a go.
Titan sitting at 3742 meters, reports on bottom.
But that was the last of the good news.
And I said, do you know where we are? 100 meters to the bow, then 470 to the bow. If you are lost, so are we.
There's no GPS underwater, so the surface ship is supposed to guide the sub to the shipwreck by sending text messages.
Turn 30 degrees right?
Probably, 30 degrees.
But on this dive, communications somehow broke down. The sub never found the wreck.
We were lost. We were lost for 2.5 hours.
Rush says he'll offer those passengers a free do-over next year.
Yeah, that would have been enough for me. I would not have needed a do-over. Not after being lost 2 hours and 45 minutes previously. But I digress. We're wishing the best and hoping the best for the recovery of these 5 individuals as international efforts to recover the Titan continue. We'll keep you updated with more information.